Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another ARPneuro Q&A. My name is Jake. I am the trainer and strength coach for ARPneuro Therapy, and with us, as always, is our CEO, Matt Dell. Matt, good to see you again.
Great to see you, Jake.
Got a good show today, and I can't wait to bring him in. He's been a rock star for quite some time. His team's been growing, and very unique practice, very cutting edge as far as I'm concerned.
Love it. I'm excited. As you know, I know nothing about our guests, so that I haven't, get to ask real questions that I'm sure most of our audience wants to hear. So I'm excited to meet our guests. So tell me a little bit about who we're going to be interviewing and talking to today.
I love it. Yeah, let's just get him right in here. So his name is Dr. Mike, and he is the owner of Movement Chiropractic and Sports Recovery. He's a highly skilled chiropractor dedicated to enhancing his patients' well-being through movement-based approach to care. He was born and raised in Long Beach, California, and graduated from St. John Bosco High School in 2010 before pursuing an exercise science degree in Arizona State. He also earned a doctorate of chiropractic from Southern California University of Health Sciences in 2018, graduating with honors and participating in the Sports Medicine Honors Program. Dr. Mike is a visionary chiropractor who combines traditional treatment methods with state-of-the-art technology. With a unique approach that integrates myofascial release techniques and strength training, Dr. Mike and his team are revolutionizing the way we think about healing and wellness. So I want everyone to tune in to discover how he takes ancient practices and modern advancements to come together to support your body's journey to optimal health. Everyone, please welcome Dr. Mike Delfin. Dr. Mike, good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you. Heck of an intro, Jake. I appreciate you, man.
It's very easy when you're a rock star. See, we didn't have to make anything up. All we did was just say the truth this time.
Boy, Dr. Mike, I'm impressed. All those honors and scholastic background. I'm almost I'm intimidated to have this Q&A with you because
no, get out of here.
Good stuff. Well, good. Welcome. As I mentioned in the intro, I typically don't get a chance to ask many questions so that we can be a little bit free, but please tell us a little bit about yourself. It sounds like you are based in California. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we're in Long Beach, California. Like Jake was saying, we just try to do more of a movement-based approach to our treatment and our rehab. So we have a big facility where half of it is pretty much like your traditional treatment tables. We have like a sauna and a cold plunge for more of those ancient methods where we're looking at heat therapy, cold therapy. And then on the other side is just a gym. So that's where we go into, the rehab, strength training, more movement oriented approach.
Oh, cool. Well, good. And so it sounds like, how big is your facility?
Oh, it's 2,000 square feet. So just bigger than what I used to have before.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're born and raised in California with the exception of going to school at Arizona State. Is that pretty accurate?
Correct. I don't know why I ever left, but I had to leave for a little bit to learn how beautiful Long Beach was. So
you're living in paradise. For sure. Well, good. We're so happy to have you on. I guess I'll kind of jump right in and love to always ask, first of all, how did you hear about ARPneuro and how long ago was that? And tell us a little bit about, that experience and how you integrated it into your practice.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So, I honestly found ARPneuro was something that I was hearing about. There's a lot of, information about it going around. And I was seeing some colleagues that I highly respect that were using it, that were finding a lot of success with it, like Dr. Jeremy Dinkin in New Jersey. And so essentially when I was just, once I got to try it out and through the trial period with the ARPneuro, we were seeing like immediate success, like really quickly. It was streamlining a lot of the different treatment methods and the management plans that we're having with our clients. And it was just like a no-brainer.
I love that. That's always, I think we're so confident with this technology that, obviously we probably offered to you, like we do anybody, a 90-day trial to get it integrated. We train them for free. We make sure that, because we're pretty confident it's not coming back if they get it, and they patients, it's a pretty done deal just because of the success.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to take that away from them once they love it so much, you know?
Oh, well, once you have the success and patients walk out and start telling other patients, and then you start seeing friends of friends because of the success, you know, it's kind of hard to get that modality away from, you know, many of these clinics that are willing to take that chance and bring in a new modality into the clinic.
Yeah.
I always love to ask is, tell us some of your first experiences early on with some wow me moments with the technology. What were you trying to help the patient with, and how did it help?
Okay. Yeah. So I remember early on, I was actually working with a client before I had tried out the ARP that was dealing with some drop foot due to like a L5S1 radiculopathy, low back injury. And when I was working with the ARP and I was getting the training with Jake, we were talking a lot about its success with these types of conditions. And so immediately we're adding that into his protocols with, you know, doing the foot bath, doing the low back protocols. And it was just like crazy how fast the results we were getting with him. And he was actually able to come back from it. Yeah, that just blew me away. I knew like immediately I was dealing with something that was just definitely worth looking into further. And yeah, that foot drop, I was like, wow, because, you know, it's kind of hard to say sometimes. Some people respond differently, right, to treatment. And so, yeah, that was one of my first successes with the ARP.
So with that, a couple questions. I mean, just for those that may not understand what a drop foot is, could you explain that kind of layman's term? What was going on with that particular patient? No, it's all good.
Yeah, so the client was basically training a lot, just a very active client, and he was just having problems picking up his foot, right? Okay. So it was a nerve-related issue from a low back situation that was creating difficulty, and like sensation-wise, he was having some numbness, tingling. So yeah, he was having a hard time picking up his foot.
Okay. And then as a patient, what was he doing prior to the ARPneuro treatment to, you know, kind of resolve that? And what would a traditional therapy look like prior to getting him into the foot bath and utilizing the ARP technology?
Yeah, so he was trying everything under the sun. It sounded like, I mean, hands-on wise, like every kind of stretch technique, different kinds of like massage techniques. The trainer was trying to do different things to strengthen the foot, but obviously there was no like it was hard for the foot. There was no signal from the nerve, right? So he was trying all those types of things. He was weary about adjustments. We didn't want to do anything with that much of a neurological type of symptoms. So we were trying to offload the nerve through more of positional relief and traction type methods. And then when we implemented in the ARP technology, it was just like another way to create stimulation for that area and get a faster result.
And what was his reaction, you know, the first session, if you would?
Oh, I mean, obviously it's an overwhelming sensation. So he was blown away. He loved it. You know, he still loves it. But yeah, definitely was blown away, very surprised. And yeah, he loved it.
And how many, is he still come in for drop foot, or is that something that you were able to get fired up and working, and now he's 100%?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, he's no longer struggling with it.
Okay. And how many sessions roughly did he have to
do? Man, this was like a year ago. So, I mean, it was taking, I want to say like almost 2 months, just because it was, some of the sessions were getting kind of spaced out. I want to say around that time, but it's been a little while since I can remember.
And that particular patient, no, that's good. And I stumped you by going way back. I didn't even
I'm like
using the technology. So
yeah.
That particular patient, give us just, I mean, was he an older gentleman or female, or give us, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, active individual, you know, works in healthcare, so understands the value of, you know, staying active. He has a trainer, you know, honestly, someone that you wouldn't really expect to have any kinds of issues, and that's what kind of stumped him. And so,
good. So Dr. Mike, you've had a lot of patients, from what I've seen, actually purchase the smaller one through your office.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the success is with that one? Is it, I mean, cause you definitely do have a state-of-the-art facility. I love the new facility, by the way. It looks great online.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, you definitely have a lot of success there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways we use it with like, with the training and during the sessions. Like I have a guy right now, need like both sides bilateral, this kind of degeneration, bone on bone, if you want to call it. It's been told to get every kind of treatment, you know, surgery, shots, injections, types of thing. And we use it through your traditional rehab, but adding the ARP in to kind of stimulate the muscles to get everything to fire, to get the most out of our sessions. Sometimes, you know, I like to, after the initial introducing the ARP technology, take it away for a couple of sessions so that they can build that confidence to strengthen on their own, and then use it as more of a way to decrease symptom after training, because there might be some soreness and achiness. And then some of those people just love what we do and want to implement on their own and get the confidence to do it. So they, you know, ask about the home device.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I tell you what, I've got friends and family that, you know, come in and just do one treatment with the device or the technology, and man, they're instantly hooked because they immediately feel the pain, you know, goes away, and they start firing up some things, and obviously gets it working. Now,
Yeah,
Jake,
I was just gonna add, my wife's dad literally went to go visit him in Alaska, and we let him try it out, and he said, "You're not taking this home."
oh
And
boy,
he bought it off us right there and there.
well, as they say, happy wife, happy life, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
okay, well, it led to another set. Now, Jake, you've inspired me. Now I've got to see if you can do it. I'm going to challenge you. If there's a website or something, I got to see this facility. Are there any pictures that you can show us?
Give me a second. I keep talking, and I will make sure I get us to share the actual website.
Sorry, I'm stumping you there, but now
not at all.
I want to see the facility. But Dr. Mike, tell us, you know, okay, so that was an early on success with a drop foot. Now I understand what that means. Tell us about some other success stories that come to mind. And before you do that, how long have you been using the technology within your practice?
Yeah, I want to say it's been about a year.
Okay.
A little over a year now. But yeah, that, like, just we were just talking about that guy with the knee pain. He was at a point where he was struggling. I mean, his insurance, he has great insurance. We can go anywhere he wants, and we're out of network here, but he was paying out of pocket just to see us because of the result from this machine that you guys have. And he was struggling just to be able to stand at work comfortably. He was, you know, it was a loss of quality of life at this point. He's, you know, an active dude. And we got him to the point where he actually 2 weeks ago competed in his first jiu-jitsu tournament, took first place in his nice. Age group. Yeah, it's crazy. Nice. And he was going to do another one this week, but we were like, hey, let's back off a little bit.
Great promo.
More. Yeah, it's crazy.
You want to take like, first in jiu-jitsu, you need to go to this movement chiropractic.
Dr. Mike can get you from struggling standing up to first place. He guarantees it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
All right. So this is not even the good stuff. So I want to show something I thought was really, I mean, it's great, but like you have a recovery suite, which I think is awesome. And as you scroll down, everything you talked about, the hot, cold contrast. I mean, so cool. Like, look at this. Completely different than when we first trained in your office. It's like a complete upgrade of everything you've done. Could you talk about your team a little bit? You mind if I share this? Because it's grown
go ahead.
exponentially since we've actually, been working with each other.
Talking.
So,
yeah, no, we're super lucky. I mean, yeah, honestly, I have a great team. Everyone on the team, I can literally tell you, I can put, all my faith in that they're going to do exactly what we asked them to kind of help contribute to the complete experience at Movement. All hand selected, great character, genuine people. Super talented, Dr. Sarah, Dr. Affy. I actually went to school with Dr. Affy. It's so funny, we were partners in all of our labs, and we took all of our boards exams together, all of our tests together, because our last names are so close.
That's awesome.
So I trust Dr. Affy. we practice very similar. So yeah, she's a very strong person to have. And then Dr. Sarah was actually my first intern back when I was in well, I guess in Signal Hill, but in my facility prior to this, because we were waiting for this one to get built out. And she was just showing up outside of her school hours to come, help me and learn, and chiropractic school is really demanding. So for her to put that extra effort to show up, right, it was special. So she's very talented. We treat the same also. As you can see, they live what they do, what they preach.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I love to hear. I mean, so how have they adopted the technology into, was that kind of because of the success that you had, or how are they integrating the ARPneuro technology into their practice?
In the same way, actually, one of the people, because you were talking about the recovery suite, one of our clients, we started a cold plunge challenge in February of last year. And it was to do a cold plunge every day to feel the benefits of consistent cold exposure, because it was, the newest hit. And I was, the benefits are listed everywhere, but it's really, you gotta feel it to really believe it kind of situation. And one of our clients who I had a hard time with actually treating in the past decided to try it out, and just a lot of different conditions, disc bulges, labral tears, shoulder and hip, arthritis, autoimmune, and the cold plunge just changed his life. And so he's been cold plunging consistently every day since February of last year. He still comes into the office. And I was gonna just put that in with Dr. Sarah actually treats him with the ARP, and it has taken him to the next level. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm such a wimp. I would rather get the RX to 100. I'm not kidding you. I can barely get my feet into a cold plunge without me crying. I mean, it's so.
Hey, the feet's a good start. You know that the feet's a good start.
I know, a little bit. Then I try to get to the calves, and then by the time I get to the hamstrings, I'm literally going, "This is absolutely insanity."
Yeah,
it makes the RX feel like nothing.
He is a Floridian, so there you go.
But what is the trick to that mentally being able to get through that plunge? Honestly, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. You obviously have it as part of the practice. How does that work?
I mean, for me, I just do my best. I'm kind of maybe a crazy person, but I take it as a challenge, right? So it's cold. It's not going to overcome my mental. I'm going to sit there and I'm choosing to be in it. So I'm going to be in it kind of thing. I try my best to see like how fast I can slow my breathing down. So I can regain that control. And then after a while, you just get calm, right? And I was in the beginning trying to see how fast I can slow my breath. And then it kind of would get addicting where I was like, oh man, I wish I can cold plunge again because I want to see if I can slow it down faster.
And how long how typically is the session? How long do you cold plunge?
Well, they recommend for like your average person to do 11 to 13 minutes of cold exposure a week. Well, a week.
Oh, a week. Okay.
They're like 3-minute sessions, right?
You can. I mean, when people try it for the first time, I say a minute to 2 minutes. See, get in there, feel how you feel, pay attention to your body, try to control your breathing, and be intentional with it. And if you want to get out in a minute, you get out. If you only got your feet in, you only got your feet in. But next time, you know what to expect. If you want to challenge yourself, you try. We keep our cold plunge at like 42 degrees, so it's pretty chilly, but it's enough for like the mental,
It's not the lowest I've heard of, so I think 42 is a great one. I do have one more. I have another question on your team.
Well, before you get off of that, I got to ask this question because this is going to show my age. So I wasn't very well schooled. So like in high school, we had this health class, and I remember they showed this video. This is back, you kids weren't even born yet, but it was this video of a guy that was stressed, running around, smoker, overweight, and he would get in to wake up every morning in a cold shower. Okay. Yeah. This is a true story. This video actually, he had a heart attack. Okay. And they were showing, this was back in the 70s, right? They were saying, obviously stress, cigarette, overeating, and the cold plunge on his heart caused a heart attack. So every time I'm in that cold plunge, it made me think, oh my God, maybe this isn't so good, because of some video I saw in health class in 1976. You gotta, I mean, shed that concern with the cold.
Yeah, we always tell people to consult, with their doctor to make sure that everything's safe. And if they have any kind of health concerns prior, we'll make sure that with the questionnaire that we screen them. But
obviously,
yeah.
that's in the back of my mind. Now, would you do the RX treatment pre cold plunge or post, or when do you typically use it?
So we do it pre. So that guy I was talking to you about, one of our clients, that was doing the cold plunge every single day, he comes in now for ARP therapy, because we're seeing now that adding in the ARP to his routine, so like I said, I mentioned all his different conditions. Have you guys heard of Hyrox?
No.
I have not, no.
What's Hyrox?
So Hyrox is like a growing fitness competition that's kind of like I wouldn't call it CrossFit, because CrossFit's more barbell work and different types of lifts, but it's a very challenging fitness competition with like 8 heavy workout stations, like lifting stations where you're sled push and sled pull and, a lot of cardio stuff. And then you have 8 runs in between. And it's this really challenging competition. But with adding in the ARP prior to his cold plunges, actually helped him to be able to run again with less pain, to have less low back pain, to be able to do these heavy lifts, and actually competed in this competition. I want to say a couple weeks ago too.
If you say he came in first place, Dr. Mike, you better get ready.
Yeah. Everyone gets first place. No,
first place is go see Dr. Mike. I freaking love it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the ARP prior to the cold plunge, because I think after the cold plunge you're just too cold to force that much signal through to make the tissue contract. Would be pretty intense for somebody and uncomfortable.
Good stuff. I love it. Well, I mean, based on the look at your facility, I might have to make a trip, especially if I can get first at anything. I mean, but that's good stuff. So, okay, so tell us a couple other success stories that you've seen, kind of most recent, that jump out at you.
Yeah, I mean, Rick was, he was our most recent, because that was like a couple weeks ago. And then, I mean, my wife she struggles with neck, like disc issues. And there was a lot of time where, like, when she would just wake up, sometimes her neck would just be super locked up, and she would just be working from home for the next couple of days. But with the ARP, she hasn't had that in a very long time. There's so many.
And you have a lot of fans here. So while you're kind of going into that, this is coming from one of our Instagram live feeds. You're the GOAT, and I think a lot of what you see online, I can see why they would say that. And also, someone was thinking of using the Hyrox or Deca after Chaos Fitness.
Definitely helpful. Even for myself, I was using it for like the foot bath for my feet, because I was dealing with a plantar fascia issue that was just so much soreness with running, and the foot bath, like my feet feel so light after so much reduction in symptoms.
I am a foot bath. I frickin' am loving it. I'm four times a week without question with the RX. I'm a big pickle guy. I like to walk and play golf. I'm an old guy, so I am breaking down, and that I feel like it's the secret sauce, fountain of youth. So
you're finally addicted. He's finally doing it. It was over. It took him a year.
I know. I would live on the PRS because the PRS was so easy. I got a torn labrum in my shoulder, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I got mine on right now. It's super easy.
I love it. I was a little intimidated, and then Jake was able to kind of through training just kind of get me set up, and now I feel pretty confident with it. I'm
just like, who gets to 100 on that thing?
Well, my son did. I tell you, when he broke his leg. Yeah, he broke his leg. This was before I was even with the company, and they put a rod between his knee and his ankle, so it was a full break. The tibia. I always mess it up, but
tibia fibula.
And so the orthopedic surgeon said there's no way he's playing basketball his senior year. It happened about the 4th game of the season. He did 20 treatments with the RX and actually played the last 5 games of the basketball season, including the playoffs. And it's funny because the first session he went in, it was a 20-minute, he's dripping wet. I walked out and said, they just, because he couldn't put pressure on, so he's just walking in the office. And I'm like, I said, what are you thinking? And it was one of that, it's a love-hate, right? That first session, you're like, what's going on? And then he got comfortable and more comfortable, and then he got up to 100. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah,
until I did it. And now I'm like, dude, he's not even, thank God my wife is tough, because there's no way he could after me. You get me to 23, I feel like that's, but anyway. So it is. But it's like the cold plunge. It's mind over matter. Yeah. Nothing can hurt you. And it's how badly do you want it, right? I mean, it's like anything, but without, obviously, you just breathe through it and you work through it. And, so that's good. Tell us some other conditions that you love that walk in the door and you go, boom, love it. ARPneuro, we're going to.
I mean, like anything acute, like it honestly, sometimes when someone comes in with like what we call a hot low back, where they're just hurt their back and they can't stand up correctly. We try to get some positional relief with them and find ways for them to be able to reduce their symptoms on their own, so they have some kind of homework. And then when we just apply the ARP technology afterwards, it really helps to make them more comfortable so that they're able to get in these positions more confidently. They're able to, they want to do the homework the next day because they know it's going to lead to getting better faster, and it doesn't miss. You can't really, like you said, it doesn't hurt. It won't hurt them, and it's with like also a hot like neck, right? Like if someone just tweaked their neck, if you want to call it, and they can't, turn their neck and they're worried with driving and whatnot, like ARPneuro is just perfect.
And Dr. Mike, we were kind of talking about, and Matt was sort of joking about how he was intimidated by it. But can you explain to like the people out there who are listening, how difficult was it to actually train on this? Was it hard? Because we didn't go through a lot of trainings, and it seems like you grasped it right away. Did it intimidate you? Yeah. Did it intimidate you? Was it difficult to learn?
I mean, I could see how it could be intimidating, but no, honestly, it didn't. I just wanted to make sure I tried everything really at like a high level before I put it on anyone, just to make sure I knew what it felt like. But it was pretty easy to pick up. I was able to apply it pretty quickly because, like I said, you get results really quickly, really fast, and you can feel how it's operating. Like if you put it on your shoulder for a labrum, for example, because I have a torn labrum too, I can't get to a certain, like this is as high as I can get before my arm has to turn out to go higher. And so when I apply the pads on, I can go up pretty smoothly because everything is firing to help that movement pattern go efficiently, right? There's no kind of compensations from the muscle firing pattern due to any kind of injury. So everything is firing at that 500 contractions a second. And I mean, when you kind of think about it like that, where you're placing the pads and what you're trying to accomplish with the session, it's kind of easier to apply the pads.
Right. Okay. So would you say like the functionality, with the exception of the fact that this is kind of like a button push, very similar as far as learning it, just kind of learning how the pads, where to put the pads basically, and then what to, what movement to do.
Yeah. And I still feel like there's so much more I can do with it that I haven't tapped into yet, because I know you guys have so many protocols. But yeah, it was fairly easy to start with and get good result with.
Well, whatever you're doing has to be great, because I keep getting these. Another fan here, Dr. Mike is the GOAT.
Samuel's
so we're
the man.
Periodically keep bringing these in.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That's good stuff. I tell you well, first of all, it doesn't surprise me personally after hearing your bio and all the honors and all the scholastic background that you were able to adapt this, very quickly. So that's, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us, I mean, do your typical clientele, do you have any pro athletes, collegiate athletes, high school athletes? Is it weekend warriors? Give us a little background of who's kind of walking into your facilities.
Yeah, so all the above. I mean, we have just like a handful of professional athletes, but more so just the active population We do work with athletes too, like collegiate and high school athletes. Actually, do have some younger ones too, some youth athletics. But yeah, just typically active population. I mean, we work with anyone as long as it's a good fit, because we want to make sure that the expectation is there for them too, that they understand like how we approach the body, so that everyone is happy with what's going on. Because for me, there is a time and place for tissue work and adjustments. It's very, very helpful. And that's why, we do have half the facility that way, but we want to make sure that they understand the long game is the exercise and the strengthening and getting better at the movement patterns. So that's, if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I think I always like to ask this because we have some clinics around the country that literally don't ever advertise. They are, because they've got this secret sauce, if you will. They've got this, and it sounds like you're the GOAT, so it's probably working. But how much has this helped just getting word of mouth to come to your clinic with this new, technology in ARPneuro? And do you get a lot of referral business because you've had success with this technology with patients that kind of share their success, and now you're getting more, walk-ins?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're appointment only, but we definitely get a lot of referrals or people that ask because it's like, oh, someone told me about the shocky thing that was crazy, and it's like changed their life. That's what they say, the electric, shock thing. And I'm like laughing because obviously, that we do our best to educate in the office, but they might be overwhelmed by all the different things going on. But yeah, we do get a lot of people that get referred in, ask about it, to answer your question.
Wow, that's a great answer. I mean, I tell you, I don't know. I mean, what a great interview, Jake.
Yeah,
I mean,
I apologize. We have a lot of questions coming in for you, and we haven't really got to them. But selfishly, and I promise this, I do have a personal question as I'm going through this. I need to know. Hold on. Now I want to share this again. I want to know about this teammate right there. Tell me a little bit about Tater Tash, because I'm a dog guy, love dogs.
Tater
Tosh,
little shop dog. Yeah, Tosh. We
Tosh.
actually named her after. Yeah, she's a Australian musician that my wife and I love. But her name is Tosh. She's goes everywhere we go.
Oh, Tosh, so wake up!
She's
yeah, she's
a
little shop dog, and yeah, everyone loves her. They get to hang out with her after the sessions, and honestly, I think they come to see her more than they see me. So,
too good. That's
such a great office. Yeah, such a great office.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Well, Jake, do you have any other questions or anything that came in? Or are you ready to?
I know we have a lot coming in. You can always reach out to us, info@arpneuro.com. I don't want to bombard Dr. Mike. He's got a lot to do. You've been very gracious to us to give us this half hour. I know you're busy. Your team has quadrupled since I met you. So yeah, feel free to bombard me with those same questions. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you guys.
Now, for anybody watching, or seeing this either live or recorded, how do they get to the GOAT? Dr. Mike is the GOAT.
That is a good question.
I mean, I want to see it. There we go.
Movementchiropractic.net. Yeah, it's a great website. Please check the website out. You've put a lot of work into it. It's changed night and day. Not that it was bad before, but it's unbelievable what you've done with your place.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now you get ready. You're going to have people coming in from Arizona, all over the state of California.
I love it.
And thank you for bringing that. Missed a few minutes. Didn't hear where Dr. Mike is from. And you're from Long Beach, California, correct?
Yeah, Long Beach, California.
So awesome. if you're from the California area, or even, it sounds based on the success you've had with some of the questions and folks, anywhere within a 8-hour flight, I'm guessing you want to go through and check out Dr. Mike. You might have to stay there for a few weeks, but
you got to come down here, Matt. You got to check out their cold plunge.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do a cold plunge challenge. You and me, buddy.
I'm in, Dr. Mike. All right. Good stuff. Well, listen, really appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to help educate. we are always here if you have any questions on protocols. Jake is a rock star, and we're just so glad that you've integrated the technology in your practice with all your success and growth. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for having me. I'd love to do this again if you guys want to do like a follow-up or something. This was so fun.
Oh, we'd love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would love it. Appreciate your time. And again, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Dr. Mike.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.